I've been kind of stuck on this game for a little bit. I've been falling asleep a lot. Nothing to be done. Just won't start up again. Can you take a look at it? I guess I could poke around in there, but I don't know a damn thing about engines. Wait, is this why you always leave your truck running? Luciad is up on a hill, so... First time it just died like this. Superstitious. Well, where's the champagne? Anyway. Do you know this area? Anyone around here that could give us a hand? Looks like a road crew's been out here. Hey, we should call someone. Do you know a good towing company? Yep. Lucky boot. Alright, I'll give them a call. I hope I can get a signal out here. Shannon speaks into the large brick cell phone held up to her ear. Hi, hello. We've got an old, I want to say diesel old truck just stalled out. Inaudible, irritable. Unaudible, sleepy. Inaudible, confused. Sleepy, it's the middle of the night. Did I wake you? Your cart says open 23 hours a day. Inaudible, accusatory, inquisitive, suspicious, inquisitive. Yeah, that's what I'm calling exactly, that's all. Inaudible, apologetic, inaudible, forceful, obtuse, let's go apologetic. No, it's okay, we just need to get to an auto shop and get this taken care of. Maudlin? I don't even know what that means. Should we Google it? Let's Google it, because I don't know. Self-pitying or tearful, sentimental, often through drunkenness. What about wistful? Having or showing a feeling of vague, regretful longing. Weird. Concerned. Thanks for the offer, but we really just need a tow is all. Neighborly? We already gate. As soon as you get pulled out here. As soon as you get out here, we're off 65 somewhere. Just kind of pulled up by this tree that fell over. That's actually a pretty accurate description of it, yeah. Hanging over the power lines just like that. Did you see it go down? Okay, my pleasure. How long do you think you'll be? Hello? Ezra. Are you bored? Sure, but I don't mind. Not yet. Are you? Yeah, most of the time. Let's play a game. How about 20 questions? Would you like to play? Okay. Okay, guess. Oh, okay. Is it a bird? No. Can I see it with my eye? Does it have a home? Can I see it with my eye? Yes. Would I recognize it if I saw it? It would look like something you'd recognize, yeah. Yes. Did you make it yourself? Is it bigger than a dog? No, a dog is bigger. Except for one of those really little dogs. Or puppy, I guess. Does puppy count as a dog? Alright, that's all your questions. What's your guess? I think I get a few more. Is it a nest? Pretty small nest. Like made for a small bird. It's empty and it's nighttime and it's just rained. Fell out of the tree and now we're putting it back together. Then we'll take it apart again. I was all ready for those questions. How long do you think we'll be waiting here? I wish Julian wasn't so busy right now. He's got a lot of houses to carry still. He can handle it on his own. Let's go talk to Shannon. I think they're on their way. Guess we have some time to kill. We could look over the roadmap again. Pretty grim place to be stuck. Stared at the thing too long already. Where'd you get that old map anyway? Found it at the shop. Oh. It's an antique or something? Does it even match reality anymore? I bet there are some old roads on there that are all grown over by now. My parents bought their first car here. It came with a map. I used to sit in the back and pore over it. Aunt Remedios saw me looking at it, I guess, and a few days later she gave me a map she'd brought from Colombia. Looked almost hand-painted, deep, vibrant colors, and rough border lines like anxious brushstrokes, really pretty. I'd slowly trace the coastline with my finger like I was walking on the beach and say, "Here, we'll swim. Here, we'll start a fire. Here, we'll find a cave and a cliff face. Go live among the bats for a while." I think I'll take a look at the radio of yours. Maybe I can get it going again. No point just standing around. The leads are badly corroded, but I'm making progress. That's what I like about working on electronics. It gets easier as you go on. Almost there. Trees. Is this the right way? I don't recognize these trees. Of course it is. What's to recognize? Just a bunch of trees. Just, the trees are so quiet, right? Usually you'd hear birds, wind, squirrel or something. Doesn't seem so quiet right now. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm a little bored. I'll work some chord progressions in my head for a while or something. How far out are we? I don't know, 20 minutes? Damn. Harry's not going to be happy. You know he doesn't like me anyway. I'll tell him you had to get that drain pipe on tape. I'll tell him about the frog. Drain pipe on tape. He wouldn't appreciate it, but man, the way those raindrops boomed down that thing, I got at least 30 minutes of it. Johnny. More than the silver and gold of this earth. What's that? I don't know. I think I heard it on the radio. It's on your mind, Cricket. Nervous about the set? Yeah, I guess. No, we're good. We know how to play. Just, then what? Back on the road. That's what I mean. Back on the road, and then what? That was random. What's up, Brad? Brake disc, sidecar, headlight. You know we're already late, so we'd better keep moving. Are you going to explain all this to Harry? Oh, no way. You are the smooth talker. In fact, I bet you'd have no problem explaining we had to stop out of the goodness of our nature and check on some wayfaring strangers. Fine, just for a few minutes, though. You are the best, and hey, maybe if they're not busy, they can fill some seats on the gig. You know, if no one's there, Harry will try and bilk us on our fee. What is it? Is it still marked down, or is it a different one? Was that him? Who? That was a motorcycle. Lucky Boot has a big truck. Yeah, they're too fast for a truck. But they're getting chased or by something. Maybe they just have somewhere important to be. Definitely getting chased by something. Guy sounds like a robot. Johnny, stay here. Be careful. He's wicked with strangers. Ha, you. We didn't have to stop. We've got a tow coming. You here to clear the tree? Who's chasing you? Hear that, crickets? We're being pursued. I knew it. Who's after us? That's a good question. These folks seem to have a certain handle on the situation. Oh, it is MD. Marked down? Yeah, okay. Those are back ticks, right? That's a good question. These folks. Let's get past that. Dinosaurs. Maybe the law. Dinosaurs. Sure, something like that. Listen, we've got 2 questions for you folks. What kind of people do you take us for? I mean, how do we strike you? Seem nice enough. To Johnny. What do you think, Cricket? Our generosity is unmistakable, ma'am. It radiates. It radiates. It does radiate. Now here's another question for you. Do you like music? Do you like music? See, I used to sing in taverns on the weekend. Beautiful stuff. Of course you do. Say, they should come to our gig. What an idea. Well, we're waiting for a tow. A tow? I won't hear about it. This time of night, you'll be kicking your heels till dawn. We'll fix your truck up. Me and Johnny are a couple of regular gearheads. Why, I just put a new cylinder block in this baby over here. The weird vector, the sloth on wheels, the vicious cycle. Weird vector. That's what we call our bike. We call it the weird vector. Because the front wheel's a little loose. We'll get you fixed up quick so you can come to the gig. See, we have a regular booking tonight. And, well, we're running late. Very late. That's what I told them. Now, the old man who runs this venue, Harry Esperanza, is a notorious withholder. And if we don't get a few bodies in the crowd, well, he'll go all penny pinching on us. Just a short set. We only have 1 song prepared. You'll come to the gig, won't you? Yeah, let's go. Of course they will. Can you believe we almost didn't stop? It's a homer. Hungry, old man? Think I've got a crust in the sidecar here. After all, it's so late. Well, it's all said and done. We stopped. That's all that matters. Our gig's at an old tavern called the Lower Depths. It's over there by Old Charlie Moore Highway, just east off 65. We usually take a right off the interstate around Arcade. Johnny likes the Arcade. That place, I just put fresh batteries in my field recorder. Now let's see about that truck of yours. I feel certain we can get it running. Over by Charlie Moore Highway, just east off 65. Take a right off 65 around Arcade. East. Charlie Moore Highway. Some weird. Yes, B in a B-shaped cam. Some of these are really weird. Oh, there's the Arcade. How you doing, Jen? Oh, there's the tavern. Did you play any more of Kentucky Route Zero? Hi, Homer. Oh, it doesn't feel right. Doesn't feel right. Feels like a little like home, huh? But I wish it didn't. It's not all bad memories. Some of it I don't remember at all. Gentler times in a twisted kind of way. Yeah, I got this cold, like, it seems like it was going away, and now it feels like it's like really kind of back. So I tried playing like 40 minutes last night, but I just kept falling asleep. Well, let's look in the dumpster because that makes sense. The trash bin is filled. Several pairs of working shoes, a few hats, and a small Ziploc bag with 3 pairs of eyeglasses. That's weird. Bar door. Kind of late. Are you sure they are open? Sure they are open. This is one of those places. Let's head on in. We are not saints, but we've kept our appointment. How many people can boast as much? That's lovely, ma'am. Who said it? A poet. I have that super leg now, which is so weird. Ma'am, I hate to say it, but the cupboard is bare. Have some vision, Cricket. We've got 1, 2, 4 patrons. Harry doesn't count. Well, we've done more with less. What kind of music do you play? Do you play here often? I haven't been in a bar like this since... It's like Crayano Cole meets Ike Towner, but with a woman lead, and the keyboards are kind of ambient, whisper wave. I have no idea what any of that means. A little bit more reverb. There's some Dolly Crown in there too, like the early stuff before she joined the Sheet Swingers. Better drum programming though. Well, you'll hear it in a minute. Sandwich. Goggles. Ezra. All important tonight is Hard Times whiskey. Got any coffee going? No coffee. Hard Times whiskey. Say, shut the GD door, would you? I can't afford to run the AC all night. Sorry, Harry. Oh, it's you two. Where have you been? Never mind, listen. I can't keep this place open through the small hours of the night just waiting for musicians. Everybody had to clear out? Let's get set up, huh? There's nobody here to listen to it. I can't pay for... We brought some people, Harry. A crowd is forming. You... Yeah, but also I... Couldn't you use a break, Harry? Don't you want to hear some music, Harry? Don't you trust me, Harry? Been on my feet all day. But Those guys are like robots. Ezra flips eagerly through jukebox catalogs of songs. What do you think? I don't know how to play this game. Huh. It's a game. Goggles. Bulky set of black goggles sit on the edge of the table next to an ashtray, newspaper, and a few empty glasses. Huh? What is it? What do you think that belongs to? Who do you think that belongs to? Whoever they are, they're gone now. Must have been pretty tank to leave it behind. This thing looks expensive. Sandwich. A rough brick between 2 pieces of stale bread sits in the center of the table, surrounded by a ring of undisturbed dust. I think that's it. Let's go to Junebug. How's it looking out there? How are y'all feeling tonight? To Harry. Can we get a bit more reverb in the monitors? Harry adjusts a soundboard behind the bar. How's that? Test, test. 1 1 1 1 3 50. Lamentation. Lamentation. Sounds good. How's everybody doing? Anybody had a real bad night? It's Conway. How about you, old man? Yeah, real bad. We'll try not to make it too much worse. This is a song I heard in a tavern many years ago at an open mic night. Me and Johnny were out just riding around, you know. You like to drive around, old man? That's my job. That. Of course you do. So we were out riding around and we passed this gaudy old tavern. I mean, it was a real dive. Busted up facade. Facade? Facade? Facade. Weeds in the parking lot. Taps all dry. Bats in the bar room. And run by this creaky bag of bones. Looked like the only thing keeping him awake was the fear of death. So glad to be back here at the lower depths. Harry, hey now. So we stopped for an early drink, and there was a lady singing right here on stage. And that song she sang, well, it stuck with us, and now it's a regular part of our repertoire. Never got that lady's name, but she seemed like a sweet gal, and she had a voice like Scotch whiskey. We just hope we do her song justice, so here it is, Too Late to Love You. When you left me, I never should have met you. I wish we'd met before. When you left me. When as long as you were gone. Doom, 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 doom. Well, I hope you liked it. Kind of sad, isn't it? Kind of. Listen, we appreciate you folks sticking around for the show. There's nothing more wretched than playing sad songs to an empty room. We've just got to get our fee from Harry, and then we'll get you headed to the Zero. That was actually not bad. That was a pretty good song. Well, Harry, I think that went pretty well. I'd say the crowd was into it. Reverential. Wrapped. I guess the usual fee's about right, and we'll let you get back to your business. Well, that's just the... Damn it. I was trying to tell you to. I can't pay. They cleaned me out. I've got nothing left but a GD IOU from the distillery. An IOU? Yeah. I traded them for some whiskey, and I guess I had some surplus credit, so I got this note to get some more from them later on. Must have been a hell of a trade. I had to. Got to keep this place open somehow. God damn it. That was the first time he actually didn't use GD. Watch your language, Harry. I say we just need to get pointed towards the Zero. Could you pay them with your IOU? Well, Very contemporary, very astute. How about it, Harry? Let's push some paper around. Well, it's just I can't collect on it here when they bring more whiskey up. For you to cash in, you'd have to go down to, down to the distillery, down to hard times, and you've got to take the Zero. So that's what we'll do. How do we get there? Are you folks sure you want to head down there? I've never been myself, but I hear people hear things, rumors, where we've got to go. Do you know another way to Dogwood Drive? Dogwood? Got a letter, did you? I've got a stack of them. Well, okay. Sounds like the Zero's your only course now. Harry, you're alright? You are alright. If only. You got a radio in your car? Yep. Well, here's what you've got to do. Take a left out of the parking lot, and then just fiddle around on your dial until you hear something familiar. Familiar but strange. You know the feeling? Like I used to go hunt with my uncle out in the mountains, and now I watch these nature programs. They're filmed in the mountains, and there's the deer. And I know all the plants and every kind of tree, but something just doesn't look right. And it's even stranger for being so close to familiar. Something like that. You'll know when you hear it. Fix that strange but familiar station on your dial, drive for a bit, and then turn around when the station cuts out. Right then. Hope you folks find what you're looking for. Eventually. Always a pleasure, Harry. Sardonic. Is it? Let's go, people. Looks like we're going back to the Zero. Alright. Tune the radio looking for a station that's familiar but strange. Drive for a while until the station cuts out, then turn back. Definitely weird, though. Let's keep scanning. He said we'd know it when we heard it. The Cianira had some horses years back. Yeah, I've always been a little afraid of them. They're so big, and I don't know. You look in their eyes, and they're almost human. Like they're human and animal at the same time since they've been domesticated so long, I guess. Well, that fits familiar but strange for me. Harry said we should drive until it cuts out. And we're supposed to take a left, right? It's odd. What's next? Back to game then. Do we go up or down? Let's go down. Sound like TV or something. All very creepy. I'm thinking the Hall of the Mountain King currently is the only option. Act 3, Scene 4. Hall of the Mountain King. What do you suppose happened here? They don't keep the roads up too well, do they? Just old and rotted, maybe. Some kind of storm washed it away? I can't tell how old any of this stuff is down here. Old and rotted. Like us, Homer. Take a look at the bridge. The bridge ends abruptly, crumbling in despair. Time to cut him loose, ma'am. Well, now I'm having fun. You bored? Oh, okay, slow night anyway. Guess we're going to the boardwalk. A loop of decayed rope is coiled on the banister. Some rotted sections have been smoothed over with the fine dust. Computers. Broken computer monitors are heaped precariously among the rocks. Pet carrier. A pet carrier for a cat or small dog has been left by the path. A calcified rag weighted in the corner may once have been a blanket. There's somebody up here. A hiking backpack leans against a rock. It's empty except for a dusty bag of cat food and a few punch cards. Pile of discarded electronics burned steadily in center of a chamber. Oh, it's triangles within triangles down here. Shifted intersecting overlaying. Isn't it romantic? Let's see. Shannon, you are here to steal back the love of a boy you once knew, when you were too young to recognize the movements of the heart. To Conway. And you're escorting her, pretending to have her interest at heart, while really you're in love with Junebug. Really, you're in love with the young woman as well, and so you've agreed to help him conspire to win her affections. But it's just a ploy to set him up for embarrassment and diminish him out of the picture. What are you talking about? No, you're right. It's inspired. Derivative. Oh, insipid. Derivative. I used to be really good at this. I had 11 novels published, from The Billionaire's Bidding to Fields of Longing, real hot, bodice-ripping stuff, you know. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment, just me and my thesaurus, steaming up the windows. Why did you stop writing? You know, suddenly it was all computers everywhere when you went. I thought I might be able to do something with that. Inject a little libido into those ugly beige boxes. Ha! So I went back to the university and I studied human-computer interaction. And then I picked up Donald's research assistantship here as a tester, debugging. In my off hours, I played around with the doomed love story at the core of our little simulation. It seemed to amuse Donald, so I kept at it. I'm afraid I tinkered too much, made it too complex. Now our work is never done. We don't even have to add any new functionality. The bugs just grow on their own, too complex. I miss those days in my Lexington studio apartment. A woman in a tattered cardigan looks furtively at other people around the fire. Donald puffs on a smoldering pipe while half mumbling, half singing an old country tune. Donald, softly, where the old green river runs, through hills and caves not known to us, down to that sunless sea. Oh, who are you? Sorry, did we startle you? I might say you did. I thought you might be one of them. Oh, no, you can't be. We've been patching all their spy holes. We keep the lights dim and the motors running softly, and we route the smoke out through. That is what we're talking about. You were singing. What's that computer over there? It looks pretty vintage. We are a bit lost, actually. You came from the road, the zero. Oh, you should stay off that road, not safe. Bizarre topology. You'll never get anywhere. It just brings you right back here. Back to this cave? The bridge is out down there. What's that you're working on? Looks pretty vintage. Looks like a harmless old computer, doesn't it? Like some beat-up mainframe exhumed from a university basement and left in this cave to rot or to flower. No, it's no ordinary computer. I've modified it extensively, and in some pretty experimental ways, believe you me. And that's to say nothing of the software, but you look like a technically minded sort of person. Tell me, do you know the effects of mold growth on diffused base transistor circuitry? Hold on one sec. All right, I'm back. Sounds like it would short circuit. The mold would burn up. Certainly, but not all of it. Some moldy filaments are more or less conductive than others, and it grows in nonlinear, chaotic patterns. We can guide it a bit through a simple application of classical horticulture, but we can't produce specific results, only tendencies. Interesting. Thwart and feeble, we hammer on this derelict keyboard. My name is Reason, King of Kings. But we are mere gardeners in the ruins. Our keystrokes echo off into the tunnels, boundless and bare. The caves stretch far away. We are too late, always too late. What did you say? What? Did you say something? You're about to tell us about the software. I'm just interested in the mold computer. Oh, the software, my life's work. Xanadu. You've heard of it? Perhaps you read about it in a journal. It's been years since I published anything. Xanadu has evolved significantly since I explained its data structures in my article, Literary Multitudes, Hypertextual Narrative as Post-Structural Witness. Evolved, and then deteriorated. Donald sighs dramatically and takes a puff from his pipe. I'm afraid you are too late, fellow hypertext enthusiasts. As the mold accumulated on the circuitry, Xanadu blossomed for a moment into something holy and enchanted, and all the charm was broken. You have any idea what it's like to spend your life building something and then sit powerlessly as your work declines into ruin? I drive deliveries for a small antique shop, and we're closing down. I fix TVs, and I'm about to lose the lease on my workshop. My family disappeared. Julian and me don't know what to do. I drive deliveries for a small antique shop, and we're closing down. Shuffling around the dusty ghosts of antiquity. Well, I have my own ghosts, and I keep them in here, in Xanadu. It's running on that glorious dusty machine. Take a look if you'd like. Too late to do anything but smoke and reminisce anyway. Far too late to do anything. Amy, Xanadu, Andrew. Do you know that when I first... No, I mean, if this cave was larger, could it? Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I've got it. How would you characterize this space? The one we're standing in now. Seems endless. It's a mess. Kind of spooky, but I'm not scared. Spooky for a baby. Because it seems endless. You have no idea how right you are. Decades of mapping and notating. But how can you tell? What formal quality makes it seem endless, you know? There are tunnels everywhere. The shadows seem to stretch forever. Huge fire, the smoke just disappears. Make the tunnels everywhere. We are surrounded by them. Look at that one. Up there. Do you know what? No. Let me explain to you what's in that tunnel. You won't be scared. Close your eyes. Will you close your eyes? Okay. Good. Now, you're standing at the top of a rocky peak. A tongue of flame licks the shadowy anatomes of... Excuse me, where are we? Oh, here again. How disappointing. What are all these computers for? Sorry to disappoint. Computers? Oh, now I remember. I was writing on them. I described a cave. That was my job. Describe the cave. There's a great history of caves in the literature. Don't you know? The walls are frozen rivers of orange stone. Isn't that vivid? I had a lot to live up to. I was a grad student studying statistics when I started working with Donald on his project. He said we needed someone with a more analytical mind to do the descriptive writing, someone who would appreciate the cave descriptions as real labor, instead of taking their authorial voice for granted. Donald warned me it would be long hours of typing painstakingly detailed descriptions into the computer, and I've put in the hours. Believe me, I've put in the hours. I've described every faucet of this cave in such detail that sometimes I don't know if I'm reading or looking, writing or exploring. Often in the dark and lonely moments, I worry that in my sleep, I've transcribed rooms from my dreams into the system. How would we know? They can only be entered with precise, faithful detail. That's all I know how to write, and all I dream about is caves. I only dream of caves. Basically, he's saying that he does whatever he writes about caves so much that he doesn't know if he's made them up or if they've are real. Okay, so do we go to Xandu or do we go to the gate? The gate. A massive gate constructed out of the scavenged material blocked passage down the far side of the spire. Hello, Roberta. The kingdom is in peril. Roberta laughs. Well, what else is new? Where's the kingdom? You're in the throne room. There are 3 legendary treasures hidden throughout the castle that will restore the ruins to their former glory. What do they look like? She's messing with you, kid. Roberta laughs. Enchanted jewelry, talismans, a magic mirror that prevents the future, a magic shield that protects the bearer from age, a magic chest that's always filled with... I never went to the university. I was an independent scholar. It means I took to the public libraries like a beachcomber. I studied fairy tales, and then I came to work for Donald. I paid the bills, rubbed leathering elbows with academics, scraped black mold from cave walls. Finally, now I carry the firewood into sentence. Kingdom is in peril. Let's go to Xandu. First, we look at Xandu. Baffling control panels are sheltered from the elements with a worn tarp. A closet-sized wall of knobs and wires looms behind the machine, humming faintly. An electric typewriter is the only easily recognizable component. All right, Xandu. How do you think we get it started? This old thing? Maybe there's a hand crank around. Oh, it has a run key. Act 3, Scene 5. Let's say I didn't see. Oh, this thing is in rough shape. These switches do anything? Xandu. Nanate. Road. Small. Okay, that's worse. Try typing help. Kind of looks like a house. Type house. House. Xandu. That's Connie. Something Connie. Xandu, you are in something east. With everywhere. Oh, and that's probably a name. And Lula, recover the computer. Human. Crying on their backs and being so, I don't know, Lula, that the rip everything. That say Lula? Did that say Lula? Typing Lula. Lula. Donald. Sell. And I've got. There's just too much junk there. I've got the machine. Right. Damn, I can't tell what she's saying. Oh, I have my portable degausser with me. Old system like this one can build up a remnant magnetic field that sort of warps everything along with whatever pattern it's settled into, you know? The degausser clears that up by suddenly shaking the magnetic field around until it's uniform again. That's how I like to think of it anyway. Like shaking a snow globe. Haha, worth a shot. Yeah, worth a shot. Let's do it. All of the Mountain King. Well, okay. Is it worse? Is where you set up your premature end of file. Press any key to quit. This is a lost cause. What a piece of junk. Act 3, Scene 6. All of the Mountain King. Bizarre. And what was that about Lula? Maybe Donald knows how to clear it up a bit. Go to Donald. Excuse me. So you've seen it for yourself. What's left of it? Pretty busted. Is that the end? Thank you for watching the video. I hope you really enjoyed it, and if you did, please click the circle in the middle to subscribe. The rectangle on your left is another video. The rectangle on your right is a playlist of other videos that you may enjoy. Thanks again. Peace.